Hi, I'm Michaela Weaver. I've shot this quick video for you today to help you to understand and to navigate the situation when you get a craving for alcohol and your intentions are to either take a break or to stop drinking completely. Now, if you're going through my Discover Sober program, then a lot of what I'm saying won't apply to you because we kind of deal with things in a different way. So this video is really about an emergency set of ideas that you can use if you're going it alone, essentially. So the first thing that I want to explain to you, just to give you a bit of background, is that with all addiction, and that's what we're talking about here, if you have a drink problem, if you're struggling to stop drinking and it's not an easy thing to do, then what we're talking about is addiction. And alcohol addiction is only 5% physical, 95% of it is psychological. So those cravings are largely 95% psychological. That means it's the thinking, and that really stems from history and our belief systems, because what happens with addiction is we've taught ourselves, and also alcohol has taught us to believe that there is some benefit in actually doing it. And so the first thing to understand is that a craving relates to something that happened in the past. Your position right here, right now, in listening to this video and in stopping drinking and being sober, your intention is to have nothing to do with alcohol. Yeah? That's why you're doing this. It's what you actually want. And the part of you that wants that is the rational right now part. So really hold on to and understand that that is the part of you that actually knows what it wants and is making sense. The other part that brings up these ideas and this feeling of a craving is history. It's based on what you used to do, and a really good way of dealing with that is to say to yourself, thank you, subconscious mind, that's a great idea to help me deal with this current situation, but that's what I used to do. That was my quick fix back then. And back then for you might be yesterday. If you're on day one, it might be a week ago, it could be three months ago. So that's a really good strategy to use. Thank you back then, but that's not what I need right now. So another thing that you can do is to really, when you get that craving, kind of think about what might be going on with it. Now, I don't suggest that you go too deep into that, because that, can cause its own problems. But run through a really quick checklist, and if there are times of difficulty, and times of stress, then these do need a bit more attention, and you can work through them. So just think about your own strategies. Are you hungry? Because hunger and sort of hunger pangs can be confused with a craving for alcohol. There are some sort of similarities in what goes on sort of psychologically and biochemically. So make sure that you're well hydrated, drink a lot, eat really well. Make sure that you don't go for long periods of time without food and that you get hungry. Are you feeling angry about something? And again, in periods of uncertainty and stress, then anger can be there. So think about things that you can do to actually dampen down any fingers of anger or frustration or loneliness. So if you're feeling lonely, connect with people. If you can't do it physically, then just get onto a Facebook group like the Alcohol Coach Facebook group. If you're not on the Discover Sober program, if you are, we have our own group just for the people on the program, which they're both closed groups, so it's all private. Nobody else knows that you're on it. Jump in there, get some connection. So that can help you to deal with the loneliness side of it. And also make sure you get plenty of sleep. Alcohol disrupts sleep, but nevertheless, just get some rest periods in. So hungry, angry, lonely, tired, HALT for short. That will help you remember it. Just make sure that those things are dampened down where you can, or mitigated where you can do that as well. So that will really, really help. distraction is always a good way. I mean, we do it with children when they're tiny and we want them to learn something and stop misbehaving, we distract. So think of this as distracting your subconscious mind from trying to do what it's always done. Remember, it got you in this fix in the first place, so it's not very helpful. It's kind of like that naughty little child, really, that doesn't know any better. Or that super helpful little child who still doesn't know any better. So distraction is really good. Get out for a short walk, do some yoga, read a book, anything that you can think of like that. Learn something new, make something new, whatever, any of those things. Just spend a few moments in your day, if you're not doing it right now, thinking, what can I do? What are the things that I've always quite fancied doing, or, just to give yourself something, and just do that. Because if you get into the habit of distract, then that will really help you, because that's a learnt pattern as well. And if you're distracting yourself with something really nice that you enjoy doing and that relaxes you, all the better. That's absolutely fantastic as well. So the other thing that I want you to do is two things really, just to finish off. One is to fast forwards to tomorrow morning. I mean, normally if we think about this as being like an afternoon or an evening, if you're anything like me, I was a serial and serious wine o'clock drinker. I mean, I took my wine o'clock drinking very, very seriously for many, many years, and at the weekends I'd drink even more. So, I had an alcohol addiction. If you didn't know, that's why I'm here as an alcohol coach. I wouldn't have stumbled into this if I hadn't. I didn't stumble. It was actually a decision. I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't had a problem with alcohol myself. So I absolutely know what it feels like. So I've lost my train of thought now, and I'm not going to record it again because I'm here doing this for you right now. So I'm just going to go back to my list. Play it forwards to the end. So think about the next day. Think about how you will feel when you don't drink. How proud of yourself you will be, how confident that you've navigated it and you've done it well. Think about what will happen if you do give in to that subconscious nagging mind that isn't right anyway. Think about how you will feel in the morning when you're guilt-ridden and anxious and really angry with yourself, and compare those two and really fast forward to that and look at the future and what you actually want. And when you're thinking about what you want, really build it up. Don't just think, oh, I want to wake up sober. Think, how will I feel? What will I be seeing? What will I be hearing? What will I be thinking? What will I do first thing in the morning when I wake up and I'm feeling really good? So build a really, really rounded picture and feeling and everything else around that morning that you want for yourself. The last but one thing is that you did this and you embarked on this for a reason, and maybe a set of reasons. And I'm going to shoot another video about this as well. But remember your why. Why? You did this for a reason. You made this decision, and absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, you wouldn't have made that decision unless it had caused you enough misery to get you to the tipping point where you had to do something. And that's never going to change. So remember your why when you get that feeling. And there's quite a lot of stuff I've given you to do. If you check out the blog on the website, I've actually written this down as well. So you can go through that too. And the last thing is, if you're really, really not sure and you're getting a craving, just do a deal with yourself that you won't do anything about that craving today. Use and employ all the strategies I've just given you, and just make the decision that you're going to think about it and wait until the morning, and then review the situation with yourself. And I guarantee in the morning you'll be feeling so great that you didn't listen to those subconscious voices, that you'll be feeling absolutely amazing. So everything I've just given you in this really short video they're really good methods. It's kind of an emergency set of a methodology, because it doesn't change the need for the really deep and meaningful work so that you can nail this on the head and put addiction to one side, in fact, more than one side, throw it as far as you can out of a window so that you never have anything to do with it again. That requires more work. You need to understand about really how addiction works and how it works for you, how the subconscious works, how all of the different parts of your brain and the biochemistry around alcohol and addiction work as well. And on the Discover Sober program, which is my 6-week program, I dive into that and we work through that in absolute so that you come out the other side with a completely different mindset around alcohol, probably wondering why you ever got embroiled with it in the first place. And so I hope this has been useful, and you can do this. We all have the ability to do this. Follow the advice, follow the instructions, and don't just skim across them. Really take it down. Think about what I've said. Make your own notes and journals. Work through some of this yourself, and you will be flying, my friend. You will be flying. Have a great day. Keep on keeping on. You're amazing, and you're good enough. We all are. Take care.